Hello, Mark Red Larson here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, my guest is Amber Thompson Snell. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, how are you doing today?
Am excellent.
Very
How
good.
are you?
So you are located in Texas,
Yes, I'm right north of Dallas. I'm in Plano, Texas.
Plano. I definitely know that because I think maybe I told you the other day that I lived in Mesquite for a while, so I know that
Okay.
area right on the there's a Mesquite Dallas line there. So is that where you grew up?
It is not. I was actually born in New Mexico,
Wow.
in Clovis, New Mexico.
Yeah.
And I lived in Muleshoe, Texas when I was younger. And
Okay.
in my early teens, I moved down to San Antonio area. New Braunfels is where I lived, and I came with a
Nice.
strong accent, and I said hi and bye and bye.
You did. You did pick
And
it up quickly. Yes,
so
indeed.
I kicked the accent. So we'll see what happens today. My
Okay, that sounds good. Because everybody's like, "Well, you're going to get an accent," and it didn't take too long. Mesquite's kind of a cowboy, a little bit, that way, and I liked Mesquite was very good. So in Texas, what do you do?
um, as far as leisure or for work?
Um, let's start out with
Both.
leisure.
Leisure. So we actually were at the Mesquite Rodeo just last
Do you
weekend.
really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we went to the Mesquite Rodeo. I have a whole bunch of kids. I have 4 children, so, ranging from ages 22 to 13. So
Wow,
my leisure consists of a lot of sporting events.
I bet. So are you part of rodeo then, or do you do anything with the rodeo, or just you help put on the event?
Well, neither. Rodeo was just part of my home, and
Okay,
so we had the opportunity to go watch and just not have to work hard, but just get to be there and enjoy it. So it
awesome.
was great. Yeah.
Very good. So, is that future aspiration? Would you want to be in the rodeo?
Well, my stepdaughter has horses.
Oh, yes.
And so I like the side where I get to go be with her, hang out, and
Yep.
do the fun part, not have to have the daily grind. So,
I hear you
um,
there.
yeah, that's
No,
that's my idea of a great time.
my sister's got horses, and I know what you're saying there. So, she loves them. I'm glad they're hers. I like being around them for a little while, but I always say they're big cats. They have interesting personalities, very much.
They do. They
But
do. Yeah.
no, that's cool. So, okay, leisure. So, what other some things do you in leisure?
Really, I do lots of personal development.
Okay,
I actually enjoy speaking a lot.
excellent.
And that's where I'm hoping to bring more toward my way. That's the path I'm hoping to take because while it's not necessarily leisure, it's what I enjoy doing immensely and
And
I'm
it can
pretty
be
passionate.
leisure. I always say
Yeah.
when you're in your calling and you're in flow, it never seems like work. It seems like playing, kind of like doing I think podcasting is very much fun. It's just, I get to talk to awesome people around the world. It never seems like work. And it sounds like that's kind of where you're at on this. So speaking, is that something you always wanted to do?
I wouldn't say always. I would say, when I was going through a really hard time in my life, even then, even through my hardest time in life, I could see myself on a stage helping other people and giving them hope one day. And
That's
so I guess it's been quite a while. And
uh,
when you want to do something impactful, you get kind of chicken. I was kind of scared.
I can relate with that with
I
you.
was
Yes.
like a big chicken, and so I finally decided, well, maybe I should listen to the man upstairs and do what he has in my heart.
Amen.
And so that's where I'm at.
He doesn't ever direct you wrong. I mean, sometimes it's like, really? You want me to do that? It's like, okay. But
Yes.
kind of like 5 years ago when he told me to start doing a podcast, because I had been a handyman, and I had done that for 21 years. And it's like, okay, this is a really big jump that I would have never made, and he says, I want you to be on the world stage. And it's like, so is that podcasting? I still not sure if that is what it means, but it must be because he's directed me, I mean, to some amazing people around the world. I mean, from Pakistan to India to Texas, quite a few Texas lately. I did one the other day with this Austin, who's a young kid that lives down there in Texas too. And I can't imagine. I was not that way at 21, but yeah, I mean, and he's I don't know where, you just gotta listen to him, like we were talking before we started, faith. You gotta have the faith that he knows he will not guide you wrong. Sometimes you wonder about it. So have you spoken on stage?
I have started spoken on a couple of stages,
Okay,
and I have actually created a stage of my own.
cool.
um where so we I'm in the mental health space these days. My background
Excellent.
is in the insurance world. I started in the life insurance space because, man, I just saw how impactful it was.
Yes.
Life insurance led me to health insurance, and health insurance led me to finding a need where not enough people had access to therapy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that led me to starting my next company. And, it seems like just whenever when that ball starts rolling, and then it keeps rolling and rolling and
Yep.
rolling,
Yep.
and so ultimately I wanted to speak to women to help them overcome domestic violence and get out of their
Nice. Very
situation.
good.
Well, God had other plans, and
Uh-huh.
I had a vision,
Yes.
and I thought, "Well, what if I take the backdoor route,
Okay.
and what if I give men a safe space to connect and to learn where to handle their emotions and not have it be in such a, what I've heard the term, stuffy environment, right?
Okay.
So what if I just
Right.
create an event for men only so they can
Excellent.
start processing their emotions and their feelings? And that would be my backdoor way of helping offset domestic violence, because now instead of using physical, now they know a few things on what they could do
Right.
instead.
Right.
Right. And so that's where I'm at. And
So
it's
excellent. Oh, I
yeah,
love that. I really love that. How long have you been doing this? How long has this journey been going on?
it's brand new. It just started. So we had our very first event in May. May is
Okay.
mental health month for men.
Sure.
And
Okay.
so, having Foundation Mental Wellness for the last few years, I was like, okay, I always wanted to do something for men and mental health. I wanted to put it all together. And I met one of my girlfriends for lunch or over coffee. And I said, I really want to do a men mingle and mental health event.
Okay.
She was like, tell me more. And I was like,
Right.
okay,
Right.
so
Yeah.
here's my vision here. And we did our first one in May, and when I tell you, we had, I don't know if you follow football at all,
A
but
little
we
bit.
had, Drew Pearson. He was the original 88 for the Dallas Cowboys,
Okay.
and he played, in the 70s, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2021.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
so, he was on our panel, our very first panel. We got Drew Pearson
Wow.
on our panel. And, we also had a licensed therapist who'd been in the business for over 30 years. And so our goal is like, wow, so we have, a high profile person, we have some true people in the industry,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and then we had 2 others as a guest. And so we had a panel of 4 people, and we packed out the room.
I bet you did. Wow. That's so awesome.
But the cool thing is we're not really exposing who's going to be on our panel before, because we want people to be there for themselves, not for who's in the room,
I like
right?
that. Yeah.
And so when they get there, now they get to experience the treat, right? We give them
Right. Exactly.
something to want to talk about and a
Yeah.
reason to want to come back. In our last event, we had Mr. Greg Ellis. He was also a former Dallas Cowboy
Okay.
player.
I was wondering how you did the name. Okay.
Yep. And he was also the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys last year. And he does a lot of work in, the football arena still to this day. We
Amazing.
had an actor, singer, and songwriter, producer. by the name of Andre Petrie. So we're really building some momentum here with some
Quickly.
of the people.
Good for I mean, I am in awe that that was your first one. I am so pumped that that was the way it was. I mean, because sometimes the first one, I mean, can be very much a slow build, but that is talking about hit the ground running. How do you find these people, the ones you had on your board? I mean, did you just reach out and ask them, and they were all right with?
Well, I'm married to a really cool guy.
Okay, that's good.
My husband was the former head of security for the Dallas Cowboys back before they moved to Arlington, whenever they were
Okay,
still in
yeah, yeah,
Dallas. And so, being that he was the head of security for the Cowboys, he has a lot of great connections, and he's just a
excellent.
really, really well connected. And he's very supportive of the event and all of the vision and what we're trying to do
Yes,
here. And
yes.
so, um, that's where it's his beautiful connections.
Well, connections are worth. I mean, people like some people undervalue the connections, but connections are can make it all. I mean, all happen. Like your first one there. I mean, are you going to have one every year or more than? One? What do you think as a timeline?
Well, we were actually going to do one
Every quarter. Okay,
every
excellent.
quarter. However, there was so much need that we did our first one in May, we did our second one in June, and we will be having our third one this month,
Excellent.
here in July.
Wow.
Because what we're noticing is, and one of the guys who attended our last event
Right.
said it best. And he said, "This is the event that I needed, but I didn't know I needed it." And so we're not doing it. We're doing it in a comfortable environment for men. We're doing it
Okay.
in cigar lounges or men-owned coffee shops or really men masculine environments.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I thought it was interesting. We had an
Yeah.
interview on Monday with the owner of the coffee shop that we're going to host our next event.
Okay.
And he said, I have gone to a men's event before in the past, and it was men only. He said women were actually locked out of the room. So I'm trying to understand why two women are putting on a men's event. And
That is
so
interesting.
yeah. And so then I had to kind of come clean and say, hey, this is my backdoor approach on helping men have a safe space to talk about their feelings and their emotions
Yes.
versus using their violence to do that.
So, are these men quite open with expressing their emotions right off the bat, or are they pretty guarded?
Well, that's awesome that you asked that. That's the reason why we have a panel.
Okay.
And the panel, with a licensed clinician on the panel,
Okay.
um, what we've learned is, so we start by asking a couple of questions, right? We'll ask a question to a specific panelist.
Okay.
And then from there, that's when the conversations start flowing,
I bet.
right?
Yeah.
One question can last 5 to 10 minutes
True.
if people are really starting to feel the vibe and really flow with those questions, because
Yes.
it could be so much as, what can your partner do better to help support you? That's a great question, right?
Right. Right.
Me as a wife, I think it's a great question because I would love to know how to support my spouse better, right?
Yeah, I hear you. Yes.
And that's when, I mean, we had one of our panelists last time. He said, what I think was interesting was that my partner had a miscarriage, and everybody asked, how are you doing? How is your body? How is your, he said, I wanted that baby and nobody checked on me.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, wow, it's the things that are coming out, and that how much men actually need these conversations and this kind of support. But it's not socially acceptable
No.
to go to therapy, you
Nope.
know?
No. No, it isn't. And you would think in today's age, I mean, and I think you're leading the charge here that maybe someday, hopefully soon, that it will be more where men can, um, but that is, and and I've done a lot of, podcasts with, well, men, kids, with suicide because it's just, and I hate that because all that potential, all the dreams that they had that weren't going to be fulfilled because they took their life. And like my wife says, suicide doesn't take away the pain, it just transfers it, you know, and and it does. And I'm so glad you're doing this. Uh, with domestic violence, and there's so much need here. So after the event, do they have an opportunity to do more with you?
Absolutely. So, what I do is my husband and I co-founded a mental health company called Foundation Mental Wellness.
Okay.
We did it about 3 years ago, and that came way before the men's events. Right? We're only
Okay.
3 months in, and I lost a brother to suicide, and my mom had mental illness when I was growing up, and I just saw, so many different things. But ultimately, what happened was I had a client who needed health insurance. He's a big attorney out of San Antonio. He said, "Listen, my daughter had a suicide attempt. She almost succeeded, and I need her therapist to be in network with her insurance."
Right, right.
And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm pretty darn good in my industry."
Mhm.
But after 3 weeks, I couldn't do it. I couldn't
Really?
her therapist did not wanna take insurance because insurance is slow to pay. She makes more money cash pay. There's so many
I
loopholes and
could
and
see that,
things like
yeah.
that. So I
Wow.
told my husband, I said, "Man, I wanna go to Austin and advocate. I wanna go to Washington, DC and advocate. There's just not enough support."
Yes, yes.
So, my darling genius husband, as he is, he said,
Uh-huh.
"Let's make our own." I was like, "No way."
Excellent.
He said, "Yeah, yes way." So we started the conversation, started the ball rolling. So we have now, after 3 years of, trial,
Sure,
tribulations,
sure, yeah.
transformation,
Yeah.
we are what I believe is the first mental health platform in the nation that
Okay.
pairs the clinical side with the holistic side
Wow,
at
that's
the
very
most
interesting.
affordable rate in the nation.
Excellent.
And what I mean by that is when you sign up for Foundation Mental Wellness, it's a monthly membership. Okay.
Okay.
It's $59 per month to get 24/7 access to a clinician,
Wow,
licensed
very
clinician.
cool.
And so once you go into your plan goes into effect, now you get access to not just the 24/7 access to a licensed clinician, but you get 24/7 access to an urgent care because think about it. If you've had a banging headache or if you've got that sinus infection that you just
Right, right.
know if you had that one prescription that could fix it, but you
Yeah.
just don't have the insurance or the doctor.
Yes.
So we that comes with that. You also get access to a psychologist and a psychiatrist for medication refills.
Wow.
Those two things are an additional fee
Okay.
on the psychology and psychiatry part. But then
Okay.
on the holistic side, we have an entire dashboard that they get access to
Okay.
where they're able to look at mindful tips, learn how to meditate, learn what things you can put in your body with healthy recipes.
Sure.
Um, and there's discounts on gym memberships because
Okay,
people
yeah.
really they don't really, connect the value between the like, physical workout and mental workout.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
So, lots of things going on over there.
you really do. Oh my gosh. I mean, oh, and you're gonna help I'm sure you've already helped a lot, but you're gonna help so many more since you're just getting started with this. And so just Texas right now, or I mean, will you have a nationwide, worldwide, or what is the dream? I mean, what do you think maybe in 5 years down the road?
Well, Foundation Mental Wellness is nationwide. We're in
It is. Okay.
all 50 United US states, yes.
Okay.
We're not in Puerto Rico or any of the US territories like Guam or anything, but, in the US, we're in all 50 states. Um,
Excellent.
so yeah.
So how do people get a hold of you? How do they find you?
we are internet based, and so our website is foundationmentalwellness.com.
Okay, excellent. Well, and we'll put that in the show notes too, definitely.
Sure.
So I always have to ask this, since this is a Dream Catcher podcast. When you were growing up, what was the dream? What did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
Oh my gosh. I was just trying to make it when I was growing up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. My mom having mental illness, she would have a manic episode and say, "I'm sending you to your dad," or "You're going to this family member," or she struggled herself.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I actually went to 13 elementary schools before during till 5th grade.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah, you only have 6 years, right? Kinder through 5th.
So
So I went to 13.
was that traumatic?
Absolutely.
I would think it'd be traumatic. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. But I'll tell you, positive note, right?
Right.
You really learn how to pivot, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Yes.
it taught me how to connect and relate very, very quickly,
True.
and how to really just meet people where they're at. So that way I can have, I really struggled with the sense of acceptance. Um,
See that. I mean, oh, and I think school can be so. I would not want to go back to school that era of my life. Especially a new kid in the school. Oh my gosh. I mean, so did you go to college?
well, yeah, I went to college.
Okay.
I did not
Okay.
finish college.
That's all right.
Yeah, I had my first child at 19 years old.
Okay.
Well, I was 20, 19, 20. And I didn't really know how to be a wife at that time. I didn't know
That
what to
too.
do, and
Yeah.
so found myself a single mom with two little boys by the age of 23.
Wow.
And I went into the restaurant business. That's what my dad did. He was in the
Okay.
restaurant business, and I was like, "Hey, I can do that." So during my mid-20s, I did go to school. I
Okay.
went to DeVry University for business administration
Okay. Yeah.
and made excellent grades, but bills came faster than everything else.
Yeah, we know how that goes.
So
Yes. Yes. No, no, it those bills, yes, they do. But I mean, my gosh, you've done so much. So your event, where's your next event at?
our next event is in Duncanville, Texas.
Okay, I know that
Um,
name. What that is still in the metro area?
It is in the metro area. It's down
Okay.
south. It's south toward like Waxahachie,
Okay, I know where that's
Hillsboro,
at.
though that area. It's
Yeah, I had a friend in
pretty
Waxahachie.
south.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not
Okay.
far from there.
Okay. So
Um we were thinking about kind of keeping them in the same area, and I was like, but there's people all over the place that need them, you know? That need these kind of events. And so we're traveling and we're willing to go wherever we see a
so
need.
so would you do one like in Nebraska or another part of the states? I mean, would you travel there and do an in-person event in another place?
Absolutely. If there's a need or a desire to get some people in the room and really bring that
Okay.
that in, absolutely.
So okay, so do you you speak in stage, but do you just I mean, would you do a TEDx about this or would you ever do something like that?
Yeah. So TEDx came to South Lake.
Yeah, okay.
And I started filling out my application, and I was just talking to my girlfriend in our walking group on Saturday morning, and she's a big speaker. Like, she's speaking way more than I am.
Okay.
And I was like, "Yeah," I said, I really am interested in doing this TEDx talk. And she is like, "Not there yet." She's like, "It is so hard. It is this and this." And I was like, "Okay, well, maybe I'm not quite prepared for a TEDx, but I'm working on that
I
for sure."
can see you doing that. I could definitely see you doing that. And do you work with like Washington D.C. federal that what needs to be done in this country could make legislation is the word I'm looking for that would be needed in this country. Would you ever work with somebody like in Washington D.C. to change things, or do you think these things need to be changed in this country towards mental health and mental wellness?
Mhm. Absolutely. I definitely do. I'm still part of a lot of the, groups in San Antonio. I follow the news in San Antonio. In the last
Yeah,
3 weeks, they've had 4 murder-suicides from domestic violence. Um, and in my heart of hearts, I feel like, "Man, I just wanna save the world," right? I wanna
I hear you.
save
Yeah.
everyone. And even if I go to legislation, I can't I don't feel like I would be able to capture or get to the people I needed to. I
Okay.
feel like I would do a better way of reaching people through foundation mental wellness, giving them the affordable access
Sure. Yes.
to
Yes.
be able to get the therapy, get the holistic, hey, let me see what this meditation stuff is all about.
I agree.
What
Yeah.
if I just work out for 15 minutes a day? And I was talking to a colleague the other day,
Okay.
and he said, "Yeah, I want to work out, but I just don't know where to start." And I was like, "Well, if you don't know where to start, I can imagine there's a lot of people that don't know where to
Yeah.
start."
Yes.
And so I said, "Well, just start bad. Just start bad. Just do 10 push-ups and 10 sit-ups and
Exactly.
try again tomorrow and see what tomorrow brings."
Yes. Yes.
Well,
You know,
that same person is doing better. So go ahead.
excellent. And I was that way not that many years ago. And I had a doctor, a very progressive doctor, and rather than give me a pill, he told me I needed to work out. And I told him I didn't know. So I went to the local Y and got his personal trainer there. And he showed me kind of the way to, and it worked out well enough that I ended up being on some of their the promotion stuff. And it's just like they took me over and they were unveiling, and it's like, good thing I like you guys because I was on their quote and stuff, which was awesome. But a person doesn't know, I had no clue on where to start. Um, and I'm a big, I like the whys, I like gyms, I like the connections. Think there's so many like-minded people there. I love helping kids. I mean, the kids, I learned how to play Gaga ball. So, if you heard of
What
Gaga
is
ball, I had
no?
not.
What is Gaga ball? That
It's
sounds
kind of,
like it's a blast.
there's a Gaga ball pit, and they get very, I don't know how to explain it. It's so you can't. You have to with the ball in the pit, and you try and hit the other person, but you can't scoop it, and all this other stuff. And yeah, the kids have taught me so much. And but no, I think gyms, any place where we're connection, because that's one thing. I think we have such a lack of a connection anymore. For one thing, because of social media, some people are on their phones all the time, and it's a tool, but it can quickly become your life. And I love connection. I want everybody, because that's why I always got on the podcast, what their dreams were, because all those people that, what you were talking about down in San Antonio, they all probably had hopes and dreams when they were growing up. And I'm so glad you're doing, and you and your husband, and do your kids help out too?
By force, yes.
Do they? That sounds like I would have been the same way.
It's hard for them to see the vision. Um,
Sure.
but I'm like, "Hello, do you not see what's going on here, people?" Like, pitch in a little. But, my daughter, she's 15 and
Okay.
she comes to a lot of our events with us. And, I
Excellent.
drug my older kids to our men's event and I was like, "Hey, what did you think?" He was like, "It was nice, mom." I was like, "Man of many words. I love it."
That at that age is saying a lot, oh, that is excellent. So, no, and she'll look back and she'll remember that. I mean, and maybe you're sparking something in her, that she'll wanna, even go further. So, do you write? Do you have a newsletter, or do you write to what you're doing, or
Yeah, we do have a newsletter
okay.
that you can sign up on our website. But I am writing a book.
You are writing good. Okay,
I am
awesome.
writing a book. My book is called Shining Armor.
Okay,
So it'll be on Amazon the
cool.
beginning of next year.
Okay, very good. So how is writing a book? Is that something you always wanted to do, or has that been come halfway easy, or is that a struggle?
Um, I did wanna write a book,
Okay.
since I was in 5th grade. In
Oh,
my
wow.
last elementary school, I wrote about my last 2 years and I was published in Reader's Digest back then. Do you remember Reader's
Wow,
Digest?
yeah, I mean, I'm impressed. Wow. I know somebody in Reader's yes, my grandparents always had that, and it is actually Reader's Digest is still pretty interesting.
I haven't even heard it around, so,
And it's
um
in our public library still, and it's a lot better than I remembered as a kid, but it's I told my wife that it is like, it still is around, but no, my grandparents had that. Both sets of grandparents had that always in their house, but, so do you have, like, a YouTube channel?
I don't. I don't have a YouTube channel. We do a weekly live call every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Okay,
Central Standard Time. And so anybody who goes to our website can find the link to our live call.
excellent.
It says Tuesday live call on the tab, and people can
Okay.
come and see what we're all about and kind of get to know the back end of what you get for your monthly membership and
Right, right.
answer any questions and that kind of thing. Yeah, so we have that completely accessible every Tuesday.
Okay, very, very good. So, I mean, is there something you're working on that you haven't brought to fruition yet?
The book for sure.
Sure, yeah, yes.
You asked something that I thought was interesting. You said, "What is it like?"
I lost you.
I lost you.
Okay, there you're back.
Okay. So you said, "What is it like to write a book?" And what I didn't know is it rehashed a lot of trauma.
Yeah, yes. And,
Yeah.
so what did you do then?
So I think it's been a beautiful thing because I get to, and people are professional suppressors. They suppress. Both men and women are
Oh,
good at
yeah,
suppression, right? I think men better than women. Um, and so it's been able I every time I find a negative feeling or a traumatic experience and I think about it and I process it and then I
okay,
release it. And so writing this book has been wildly liberating and now I become a better person because of it.
excellent. Okay, so God, universe has told me I needed to write a book or a minimum one book. He's been very quite pushy about it. So, I've never seen myself as an author. I mean, I know people say just start. How did you start writing a book? Just start putting it down, pen to paper,
No,
or
I
did
started with an outline.
you did not lie? Okay,
Started with an outline and I thought to myself, okay, what are the things? What are the key points that I want to get across in this book, right?
okay,
One
yeah,
is if you don't have a foundation, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for it all.
true, very true. I like
That's
that.
how I fell for a person who ended up you helped me end up in a domestic violence situation, right? But the outline is really powerful. What is the beginning and what is the end? And what am I going to teach people in the middle? And what's going to
Yeah,
motivate them to want to start it and finish it?
excellent. I like that because I mean, I have started, but that's about as much as I've done, and I think I actually, God, when they had me go to a writing workshop, it was on a Saturday, and he told me that it had room, so I went to that. And again, the gentleman who taught it said you can write a lot in 15 minutes a day, which actually you can, but I just still have not done the action. I mean, and you said you liked writing,
I do.
okay,
I do. Like I said, mainly just to get it all out. you
okay.
know?
No, and I think I maybe become addicted to it because I think, well, podcasting. When I had a friend in California help me get this started, and I thought I wouldn't like that at all, and now and I guess you never know until you start doing it. So before we end the podcast, anything else we'd like to share with the audience?
Um, I'm open to taking our men's event anywhere.
Okay.
Feel like it's very exciting when something lights you up from the inside,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
this has definitely been lighting me up from the inside. It's just
I can tell.
helping those
Yeah.
gentlemen, connect and collaborate and feel that safe space. So that's been really awesome, and just looking forward to being on more stages and helping more people with foundation mental wellness.
And I gotta ask, you setting up a foundation, was that difficult?
So it's actually not a foundation,
Okay.
it's just part of our name. So
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
and you know what's interesting is when we do something, like we named Foundation Mental Wellness,
Right.
years later, we're seeing that foundation is actually the key, right?
Right.
Building a foundation
Yeah, have to have a yeah,
can
sturdy
help
foundation,
you
yes.
and free you to be well.
True.
So there's a lot of meaning and magic in that name that we didn't even know existed back whenever we started,
Yeah.
but here we are.
You got me thinking now, and I like that. So and age group, is there a certain age group you see more of than others?
Ooh, good question. We work with children ages 12 to
Okay.
9. We do see most people in that 40s range.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Most of the people are in the 40s. In fact, I talk about different dynamics, right? There's different
Okay.
um cultures, different people, different, from CEOs that are handling the weight of the world,
Right, yeah.
construction workers to everyone. And we had a guy come to us and he said, "Hey, I have an alcohol problem and I want to get medication to help offset this alcoholism." He's a Hispanic guy.
Okay.
And I was like, man, that in itself was a huge victory because a Hispanic alcoholic guy
Yeah.
wants to get help from us. And so mid 40s is
Okay.
really other.
No, and I mean, and is nationalities, I mean, is it Hispanics, is it just a mix of men?
At this point, of course, so our platform is predominantly women, right?
Okay,
Because
okay,
men
okay.
don't really uh, think it's acceptable or socially cool to reach out.
Okay, so the women reach out first. Okay, thank you. I don't know, I had that wrong. So, okay,
Yeah,
but they reach out first.
women are definitely quicker to seek help or seek therapy than men are. The great thing about our platform is that we're all online. And so I'd love to talk to men about, hey, well, you never have to be seen in an office. You can do it right in the comfort of your truck, your car, your
Right.
apartment. Um, you can do it late at night, right? Because we're 24/7.
Yes.
And a lot of our moms work use it at night, because after the kids go to bed,
Yeah.
and one of my favorite
Yeah.
things to say is, when I feel like crap, it's never Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 because that's when I'm busy.
Right,
You know?
right,
Their
exactly.
mind is already going and I've gotta do this and I gotta do that.
Yep,
But
yep.
what happens when the kids go to bed and
You can
they're
slow down.
start feeling your feelings and you're like,
You
"Oh,
do.
no, what do I do?" You know?
Yes, it becomes real. Yeah, at night. And I can even relate with that. My mind starts working and it's like, we're really supposed to be going to bed right now, but no, it's got other things. But no, okay. I'm just so glad you're doing this. I am so glad you and your husband are such action takers, that you have great connections. Uh, I hope someday in the near future you do one in Nebraska. I mean, that would be excellent.
Let's
So, I
make it
mean,
happen. Let's make it
so,
happen.
okay, if we wanted to do one in Nebraska, how would you set it up? I mean, we just keep going back and forth and find location then in Nebraska, or I suppose you'd probably want to be where there's the most people, like on the eastern part of the state. But I mean, do you do it in small towns ever?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't yet,
Okay.
but that's not to say that we won't or we can't. If there's a need that I feel like, so my partner and I, Nikisha, she and I, we pray over every space that we
Excellent.
decide to do an event. And we
Okay.
just pray that the people who are supposed to be in that room are in there, and that while they're in there, they receive the words, the wisdom, and the encouragement that they need to receive.
Yes.
And
Amen.
so whether it's one changed life or 50 changed lives in the room, it's worth it to us.
Yes. Yes, because you never know. I'm for ripple, and if you change that life, that ripple goes out there, and um, yeah, I'm for positive ripple. I don't think people realize how much, or even just meeting somebody on the street, how much you can impact that person, and I'm very much for that too. And I think this is a gift from God that people gravitate towards me and kids too, which I'm honored. And it's like and strangers that are lost. Let me tell you, everywhere I go, I have strangers come and ask me what the directions are. It's like, you have your phone and I have no idea. Usually it's a place that I've never been before, but um
Well, your
I
great Uncle Mark, hello.
yeah, I mean, and it's just like I had this one bus. It was of elderly people, and they were looking for a bowling alley, and I was in the town. It's like I have no idea. It's just like you're gonna have to search that one. But I told my wife, it's like, well, that's really interesting that they come and stop. I wondered why the bus was stopping because we were walking on the street on the sidewalk, and it's like, well, that's a question I never thought I'd ever get. So, but
A
no,
bowl.
I think people pick up on your vibe too, and you have a very good vibe, and I imagine your husband does too. I can tell you're in flow with what you're doing. So, so your partner, how did you and your partner meet? The one you're talking about?
Nikisha,
Yeah.
so we met through Drew Pearson.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
met through Drew. Drew was actually, he was the best man in our wedding.
Nice.
So my husband does a lot for him. He's, manages a lot of his, events and,
Okay.
signings. But that's how I met Nikisha was through Drew,
Okay.
and, then she and I saw something in her.
Uh huh.
Like, I like her,
Uh huh.
I
I
didn't know
know.
what I liked, but I knew I
I
liked.
I know what you're saying. Yes. Yes. You just
And
know.
then, I was like, "Yeah, I don't know who initiated, but she was like, 'We should get coffee sometime.'" I was like, "Yes." She's a realtor by
Okay.
trade, and we have mental health, and I do insurance, right? They all kinda go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Hey, let's get coffee." And I'm telling you, our very first coffee is when we talked about this event, and we immediately jumped into action.
Wow. That is amazing. On the first, it was meant to be. It
It
was
is
definitely
meant to
meant to
be.
be.
Yeah.
You're just bringing it into the 3D here. So,
Very
um,
quickly.
that is so awesome. I can't wait to see what down the road looks like too. I
Sure.
mean, I just,
Well, check out my Instagram if whenever you get time. So my personal Instagram has a lot of our videos from like the last
okay,
couple of events.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, let
my
me.
Instagram is Amber, Amber. It's underscore. And my middle name is Dion, Deone.
Okay, okay.
And so I didn't really think that it would be a public profile whenever I started it, obviously. But go check out my
I
Instagram.
definitely will. I mean,
And, you'll be able to see some of our clippets. We have a great photographer, great videographer who's doing really great things for us.
I will definitely. We need to share that in the show notes too, if that's all right with you. So, I mean, yeah, I mean that sounds great. I got to look at that when we get done here. So, no, Amber, and I think I'll end the podcast there, if unless there's anything else you would like to share with the audience. But thank you for being a guest. I mean, and bless you and your everybody that you're dealing with yourself, your partner, your husband, um, your everybody.
Thank
Um,
you.
you are you're inspirational, and I'm motivational, and we need so much of that in this world.
Thank you. Well, thank
Because
you
all
for
you've seen is
choosing.
so. What was that?
Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for
Oh,
allowing me to be on your
well,
podcast.
thank
Very
you.
thank
And I always I like your vibe. You have vibe. I mean, I just said that before already, but you have a great vibe, and I just like anybody making a positive difference in the world because you see so much negativity, and I talk to so many people. It's like, please stop watching the news and watching all this stuff because what you seek, you'll find. And there are so many amazing worldwide. I mean, I've done podcasts all over the world, and people are people. You know, they all basically want the same thing. I mean, from Rao and Mary in India to Dawood, who opened three orphanages in Pakistan. Just yeah, he's only in his 20s, and he invited my wife and I in November to his wedding. It's like, I don't know, Pakistan, I don't know if I wanna go to Pakistan or not. It looked like it'd be a beautiful wedding, and I still haven't decided on that. But, people are people. I mean, I've done a couple from Africa. Anson, he had nothing, but he had a mom that believed in him, and because he only had 4 walls and, 1 light bulb, but she somehow got a suit for him and a phone, and now he is changing the world over there in that area. I have a feeling he'll be a world changer too. So, but no, we need to put more stuff out there that's positive, that's going on, and just get rid of just the negativity is going to be there. It will be there. It's just there's got to be yin and yang. There's both, but look for the positivity. Be positive, and you do. You have a nice smile too. I love your smile too. So.
You. Thank
No, and I
you.
would love to meet your husband. What's your husband? Is he stay at home work or does he? What does he do?
Gosh, yeah, he does mainly work from home. He
Okay,
does, private equity, so he finds
yeah,
investors.
okay.
Um,
So
he's big time in the insurance industry,
you
do
guys,
lots
you must not sleep. Oh my gosh.
of
Oh,
well, we
that's
do.
awesome.
We take a nap if we have
You take
to.
well, that works. Power nap. They definitely work. So that is cool. And
I
then
think
with the kids,
recharging your batteries is key to any success.
I 100% agree. Yeah, a good nap can really make you refreshed. That's for sure. So, but Amber, I will let you go on that. I look forward to keeping in touch, and have a good rest of your day. And we'll be talking soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I
Well,
really
thank.
appreciate it.
Oh,
Loved
thank
being
you.
on. You're
So
awesome.
you take care.
Blessings to your wife.
Bye.